Well, here we are at last on the new 1200 Scrambler. Just picked it up. It's all nice and new. Now we got the task of running in 500 miles of behaving ourselves. Yes, this is such a nice thing to ride. So this is the 1200 XE, and this is a factory release model, so it's one that went in the showroom, and it's got lots and lots of extras on it, and I think they were actually meant to keep it for a while, but I managed to get it a week after it was released. So we'll have a walk round in a minute and have a look, but it's got lots of nice goodies like the high mudguard, front mudguard, aluminium looking radiator grille, crash bars, headlamp cover, which isn't that good because that really makes it awkward to clean the headlamp. What else is on there? Arrow exhausts. Although I have to say, I don't think there's a lot of difference between the Arrow exhaust and the standard exhaust. I mean, it's probably, you might find it's got more of a bark once it's run in. I'm not going to rev it. Keep the running in process as it should be. But I don't think they're that loud, and I don't think you can remove the baffles on these. But they came with the bike as the launch bike for the dealers, so yeah. So it's got the LED indicators, the small ones, and the rear light and indicator mounting kit, so everything's mounted on top of the rear mudguard. It's definitely a tall bike this. You are up quite high. First thing, when you ride these, for sort of a semi-adventure bike, it flicks around the twisty roads really well. I did have a few people ask me actually when I did the test ride review on the suspension how hard it is. I mean, it's quite good. It's soft. It's soft enough. It's on the same time it's reasonably firm. It's a difficult one to say with a bike like this because you don't want it really soft. There are loads of adjustments to be made. It certainly feels good on the roads and the bump, you know, on the small single track B roads. It feels good. Yeah, it's definitely, this road's reasonably bumpy. I mean, it's firm. It's very firm, but the suspension's definitely a lot better than my R90 GS Urban. And then there are quite a few people moan about the suspension on that, but to be honest with you, that bike, this is more sort of off-roady than that. That looks off-roady, but it's not really an off-road bike. It's just the R90 series that's been made to look like the old GS. And I mean, it's a fantastic bike, but it does ride totally different to how this rides. Oh, it's very nice though. There's a few bumps there. Doesn't feel too bad. Really talky engine though, just like the T120 and the Thruxton. And it's starting to rain. Well, there's a surprise. I don't think I've not picked up a new bike yet when it hasn't rained. Considering we've had the warmest February 1st of March, the weather goes completely the other way. Going to get my nice new motorbike all dirty now. You definitely notice it's a bit colder today. So the seat is quite firm, but not uncomfortable. It's a good firm seat. Probably won't really know until we'll do a couple of hours. But first impressions are good. It's always such a pain running a bike in. But it must be done. It's a bit weird, all this clock. You need to scroll through it all to see what mileage you've done and everything else. So I've booked it in for exactly a month today to get it serviced, so I've got a month to do 500 miles. I may try and do a couple of hundred this weekend. You definitely feel like you're high up on this though. It's amazing though when you ride this, you know, from a size or where, just the feel of it, it doesn't feel like a 1200 in the, not in the power, but just in the whole feel of the bike. I'm sure it would be if you got stuck in mud and you had to try and push it out. So this is actually the first Scrambler on the road in Norfolk. Now we need to find a nice little place. How about up here? It's the first bit of off-roading. I don't plan on doing too much off-roading on this, but we can have a little pullover somewhere and take some pictures. We'll do a famous walk-around. I have to say, it feels a lot firmer than the GS did coming down here the other week. I think this is a nice little spot for a walk around. Right, so here we are, over to the phone now. So as we can see, nice set of aero pipes, nice backlights. Little side stand plate, crash bars, radiator cover, high level mudguard, headlamp protector, it does look very nice, quite a sexy looking thing. So it does feel quite firm off-road, although turning that round on the mud, or not, it's just dirt, that it did feel again as though the front was going to wash out when you turn it around in a tight space. Now probably if I was standing that would have been alright, but you do notice the weight then. But as I said, I'm not going to be really off-roading this. It's more about the looks, and it's a nice bike to ride, but no, you're not going to see me off-roading this, I'm afraid. Too expensive. You know, a lot of people talk about buying these to off-road them, but they're big bikes. Now, an interesting fact, this bridge we're going over was filmed in the Dad's Army episode where they're driving the fire engine. It's got nice levers on it. I think they're standard levers, but they're quite well made, those. Look nice. What was that gentleman up to? No good, I say. I was amazed how many new bikes were going out today in the Triumph dealership. They certainly seem to have got it right, Triumph. The strange thing is they've released this bike and then they haven't actually got that many to be able to sell into the market, so yeah, a bike like this, I'd have thought it would have been pretty obvious it would have probably sold quite well, but most of the dealers can't actually get hold of any now until some are coming in March, April, then June. Come a bit closer, twat. So we're doing 60, he must be doing 85, taking the mickey a little bit. We all like a bit of speed, but quite a lot of deer on this road. Normally see a few squashed ones. One thing I would say with this, on the controls, you've got the indicator switch, and directly below it you've got the little toggle switch for fiddling around with all the settings on the clock. So, as I've just done in the last few minutes, if you do go to hit the toggle switch, you can hit the indicator switch. So, probably a good idea not to fiddle around with all the settings on the clock, but it's something to, certainly for me to think about, because you could drop yourself in it if you think you're fiddling with your toggle and you hit your indicator switch. It's amazing the difference between this and the 865 or the 900 Scrambler. I rode one of those a few years ago, but this is, yeah, there is a big difference. Got a nice smooth gearbox, good gear change. So running in 70 miles an hour is about 3,750 RPM, so it's not too bad. You do notice how fast everyone drives when you're not keeping up with them. I'm doing 71 and most cars are coming past me. (4,075 miles an hour). As I say, we'll keep this nice steady pace for the first few 100 miles. So yes, very pleased. Like the blue, I was a bit indecisive whether to go for the white and green or the blue and black, but really pleased with the blue and black. Just got to get the little screen for the front. So we cut back to the phone camera again as the battery ran out on the helmet cam just as we was finishing off. So here's the bike with the little screen on the front now. So that's it. So thanks for watching. Thanks for everyone that subscribed to the channel, and I'll catch up with you soon, probably for the first 500-mile review once we get it serviced and hopefully everything's still running all great. Okay, so until next time, see you again.